38. The title of this chapter is it talks between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. So I'll read the shloka. Ete Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ete Deva Kala Viṣṇu Kala Mayam Shalingah Lingnaha Nana Nanatvat Kriyanishaha Prochu Pranjalayo Vibhum. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation: the controlling deities of all the above mentioned physical elements are empowered expansions of Lord Viṣṇu. They are embodied by eternal time under the external energy, and they are His part and parcels. Because they were entrusted with different functions of universal duties and were unable to perform them, they offered fascinating praise to the Lord as follows. Hare Krishna. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate giri yat kripatam aham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So by taking every devotee's blessings, so I would like to just speak. So purport is very big. So I'm sure most of the devotees have read the purport. So I will just try to speak whatever Srila Prabhupada is explaining to us. So if you see this chapter, it's talk between Maitreya Muni and Vidura, and it's a very beautiful topic. And actually Vidura starts this when he meets Maitreya Muni, he asks a very important question. So he says, like, everybody in this material world is trying to be happy, but contrary to their expectation of being happy, they're actually becoming more and more they're becoming more and more unhappy, more and more miserable. And Maitreya Muni gives a wonderful answer to this. It is just he tells Vidura that the main reason for this is because we have turned ourselves away from Krishna, and because of this, the real cause of our distress and miseries is because we have turned ourselves away from Krishna. And the reason, and because of this reason, all these wonderful saints, Vaishnavas, are roaming on this in this material world. Actually, Vaishnavas are actually in the spiritual world, but they come here to uplift us. Anugrahaena charanti nunam bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. So just for our upliftment and to take us back to our real home, they are roaming on this material world. Otherwise, they would never want to come here. Mrityu Loka, which is full of ignorance, completely dominated by the three modes of material nature. Nobody would want to come here, but for our upliftment, they come. And thus, that is how the conversation starts. And this should be our mood also. Whenever we meet a Vaishnava, we should inquire about how to get out of this material world, or we should always speak about topics which are related to Krishna, because otherwise it is very, very difficult. When we meet Vaishnavas, we should make sure we do not speak any other topics rather than speaking about Lord Shri Krishna. And as the conversation continues, now we have reached a point where it is now where Maitreya Muni is now explaining about demigods. In ISKCON, many people who are not part of ISKCON, they feel devotees who are part of ISKCON, they disrespect the demigods because we do not encourage demigod worship. So they have this people who are not in Krishna consciousness, who are not exclusively worshipping Krishna, who do not know the supreme position of Krishna. They sometimes condemn the devotees, the Vaishnavas, because they think we are against demigod worship and we do not encourage demigod worship. But that is not the case. Here, if you read this translation, Maitreya Muni is saying, and Srila Prabhupada translates so beautifully, that this demigods, all this, if you know the figure, if you say 32 crore, there are demigods. They are all actually lords, very, very confidential devotees, because they are entrusted with the affairs of this material universe. Like, and Prabhupada writes in the purport, like the way a state, to run a state, there is a minister, the chief minister, and under him there are different ministers who are given entrusted with different other departments, and under their supervision and under their guidance, the entire state is run. So similarly, if you see this entire creation, this material creation is so systematically designed by the Lord. Actually, Lord did not want to create this material creation, this material universe. Lord did not want to create, but we jivas who actually went against the Lord's desire, and we wanted to become the enjoyers. So because of us, the Lord had to create without any option. But the way Lord has created this entire material creation is so systematic. It did not just throw us out of the spiritual world and said, get lost. He created it in such a way that all our basic necessities are taken care. So and to make this entire universe function well, he entrusted all the important important functions to his most confidential devotees, or most pious people. So demigods, from Lord Brahma to all the other demigods, they are not ordinary people. They are very, very superior. Okay, we jivas are they are much more higher than us normal jivas. So Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Durga, all of them. So they are interested, and they are Lord's confidential devotees. So so they and they work on the guidance of Lord Krishna. But one thing we need to understand here, like we now just read the 10 offenses. In that it is mentioned, the second point, what it is, that to consider demigods, Lord, like Lord Brahma and all others, to be equal or independent of Lord Viṣṇu. So this is one important point, which a materialistic person who doesn't have the knowledge of Shastras, they think like, because they do not know the difference between Lord Shri Krishna and the demigods. For them, every demigod is like a supreme person. As long as his desires are getting fulfilled by worshipping, he feels, if I worship a demigod and that demigod is sanctioning my desires, then that demigod is like a god to him, a supreme person to him. But here we come to know it is an offense to consider demigods to be equal or independent. And Krishna in the what do you call, Bhagavad Gita also clarifies it. Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchint asti dhananjaya. So he says, forget above me, nobody is even equal to me. So it's a very, very important point. Forget anybody being above Lord Shri Krishna. Nobody is even demigod. They are not even equal to Lord Shri Krishna. Mattaha parataram nanyat. So this is a big mistake a materialistic does, because due to lack of knowledge. And if you see, if it was not for Srila Prabhupada, we also did not even know the difference between Lord Shri Krishna and the other demigods. Until I came to the Prabhupada's family, even for me, it was as like everybody was equal. There was no difference. So it is a very, very big mercy of Srila Prabhupada and all the Vaishnava Acharyas who gave us this most important knowledge. So basically, we are not against demigod worship. Nobody is, as long as we understand their position and we worship them accordingly. There is no problem. And for a Vaishnava, they will never ever, like, we are not even supposed to harm an ant or disrespect anybody, any jiva. That's the reason we promote no meat eating. Why do we promote no meat eating? Because we understand that even every single living entity is a part and parcel of Krishna, and they have their they have the will, they have the what you call the right to live in Lord's creation. Like if you see Parikshit Maharaj, when he saw, and Prabhupada also explains praja. Praja means every living entity that is like every living entity is praja. So a human being is also praja, a cow is a praja, a goat is a praja. So every living entity is a praja. So, and it is a duty of the state's head to take care of them. It is not that just human beings will be protected and other lesser species will be killed for the taste of the tongue. So we don't even like we as followers, as trying to be Vaishnavas, we don't even disrespect end. We are supposed to even make sure that we do not harm our end. So there is no question that we disrespect demigods, because they are superior. They are superior and they are devotees of the Lord. The only thing we need to understand that when we worship demigod, what is that we need to ask from them, because we are not karma kandis, or we are not like we already understand that there is no happiness in this material world. Okay, there is and the only way we can be happy is to worship Lord Shri Krishna, serve his devotees, and go back to the spiritual world. So when we worship a demigod, the only thing we should ask to them is that please, that now I've realized and I've understood what is who I am, what is my connection with Lord Shri Krishna. So please help me, to do my bhakti, and please help me to worship Lord Shri Krishna, and please help me not to and please keep me away from Maya. If these are our prayers to demigods, then there is no harm in worshipping the demigods. But if by going to demigods, if we get more materialistic, our materialistic desires increase, and that is what we ask, then that is a problem. Because it's very rare that one comes to Krishna consciousness, and after coming to Krishna consciousness, if you still continue our materialistic desire, and if you feel that by going to demigods, because Krishna is so merciful, like Krishna is our eternal father, so parents will never give their children something which is not good for them. And a person and a normal person, if you go and ask, and you ask him something, since he is not the parent and he is not having much knowledge, he can give you something like if you see now the parents, they won't give their children's chocolates to eat easily, because they know that too much chocolates can spoil their health, spoil their teeth, so they will never give. But a bystander, a normal person, if you ask, he might say, oh, he looks so cute, he's so beautiful, okay, take the chocolate. So similarly, this is the position, since Krishna, he loves us so much, and he's our eternal father, and he doesn't want us to again go astray from the path of bhakti. He will not give us things which will take away our Krishna consciousness and again put us in material life. But demigods, because here if you see, Prabhupada says they are under the modes of they are under the control of the external energy. The demigods, they are also governed by the three modes, raja, sattva, and tama. They are not in pure goodness. They are superior to human beings, but still they are not in pure goodness. So what happens if you go to demigods and you worship very nicely? Sometimes they might give us boons which is not conducive for our Krishna consciousness. So that is the only problem, and they are also dependent on Krishna. If you see in Bhagavad Gita, Lord says whatever boons demigods give us, it is actually sanctioned by the Lord only. So they are not independent. So and if you see, there are so many stories like Brahma, the way Brahma and Hiranyakashipu, when Brahma granted him all the boons, then again when he created the havoc, again Lord Brahma had to take shelter of Lord Shri Krishna, who came as Narsimha Dev, and keeping all Brahma's vows, whatever he had promised Hiranyakashipu, without touching, I mean without what you call dishonoring those vows, Lord killed Hiranyakashipu. So so these are the problems. So demigods, they are not independent, and they also come under the what you call the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. So it is of no use like taking shelter of demigods for any other purpose than the purpose of becoming Krishna consciousness. Because see, the only person who can award his Krishna Bhakti or Krishna Prem is a Vaishnava, and these demigods are also Vaishnavas. But if we consider them like they are equal to Krishna, and let me worship them to gain some material benefits or to fulfill my material desire, then it is our loss. Because after coming to Krishna consciousness, again, if you go to demigods and ask for material benefit, then that is our loss. And demigods here, Prabhupada says, like, to fulfill any of the functions given to them, to get that empowerment, they have to pray to Krishna. So you can imagine. When they themselves are dependent on Krishna to even fulfill the what you call services that is entrusted upon them. So intelligent person, what will happen? He will understand, okay, even if these demigods, if they are dependent on Krishna, and only after Krishna empowers them, they can carry out the duties of this material universe, then why should I waste my time again going to them for some for something which is of no importance to me in this material world? Because if we understand, in this material world, no matter what we achieve, no matter what position we reach, how much wealth we earn, in the end, it will all be zero one day, right? Because when the time comes for us to leave this material world, we cannot take anything with us. It will be all left here only. So no doubt we require basic necessities which Krishna will provide. So Krishna being the eternal father. So if you see, Krishna is so merciful. There are three modes, okay? Sattva gun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. So what is Rajogun? Rajogun is required for creation. So that's the reason Brahmaji is in charge of the Rajogun, because material creation is entrusted to Brahmaji, the first living entity. When this material creation is created, from Garbhodakshai Viṣṇu, who enters in every universe, he is lying down on Ananta Shesh, and from his navel comes the first lotus flower, the stem, and the first living entity who is born is the Brahmaji. So, and he is entrusted for the purpose of creation. So Rajogun is required for creation. And when the time comes for the annihilation of this universe, when Brahmaji completes his 100 years, which is some trillions of years. If you want to know the calculation, it is said that 1000 of Chatur Yuga, Satyug, Dwapar, Treta, and Kali Yuga, when these 4 yugas complete 1000 cycles, that is 12 hours of Brahma. And again, when this another 1000 cycle of this Chatur Yuga is completed, that is another 12 hours. So this is how 24 hours of Brahma, which is one day. This is, again, you multiply it by 365 days into 100. So this is one lifespan of Brahma, which runs into some trillions of years. And Brahmaji is the living entity who never dies in between. Like for us, in Kali Yuga, it is said a maximum duration of a person's life is 100 years. But we see that we can pass away anytime. Once you're born also, or in between, or very few people will live for 100 years. But Brahmaji is a perfect living entity entrusted with this material universe. So he lives for complete 100 years. There is no, like Brahmaji will never pass away in between. Like you will never, in Shastra, you must have never heard that Brahmaji got a heart attack. So one Brahmaji of a universe just passed away when he was 40 years, 50 years. No, Brahmaji lives for an entire 100 years. So, so Brahmaji, when the universe has to be what you call annihilated, that it can be done when you are in the mode of Tamogun, and that is entrusted to Lord Shiva. And to maintain, you have to be in Sattvagun, and that maintaining part is been taken care by Lord Viṣṇu. So you see, creation and destruction is the portfolio of Brahmaji and Shivaji. But to maintain, the most important thing, maintaining Lord Krishna, he has taken care. Lord Sri Viṣṇu takes care of us. So anything that we require in this material world, maintenance, that is taken care of Lord Shri Krishna. So you can see Lord is so merciful. So because of that, it is very, very important that we always take shelter of the Supreme Lord. But at the same time, we understand that all these demigods, they are not ordinary people. They are superior people who are interested with this what you call carrying out the universal effort. So we as that misconception that a Vaishnava disrespects demigod is very, very wrong. In our immaturity state, when we understand that Krishna is the supreme Lord, and we don't need to worship anybody else except Lord Shri Krishna, in that immature state, we might some devotees who are immature, they might make such statement that you don't need to go to any demigod. Yeah, you don't need to go if you have so much faith in Krishna. But if you come across some temple of a demigod, it is not that we will what you call reject it, or we won't enter. We will enter, we will pay our obeisances, because imagine when we see a Vaishnava, we offer dandavat, and even this demigod is a Vaishnava. So how is it possible that we will disrespect? We will not disrespect. But like Srila Prabhupada says, once you take to Krishna consciousness, our faith should be in Krishna. Whatever we desire, we should always ask from Krishna. But if we come across a demigod, we should always aspire. Our only prayers to them is, please help me in my Krishna consciousness. No other desires. And if you see even demigods, they are also anxious. They are also anxious to become full. Like they also pray to Lord to give them a human birth in a Vaishnava family, so that they are also fed up of this material universal efforts. Because what happens, because of being too much into this material efforts, they sometimes they also do not get time to do bhakti, or sometimes they are so much in dominated by this gunas, three gunas, that they sometimes get the feeling that they are superior, uh, which is a case with us also. If you see in bhakti, when our devotee praises us too much, Prabhuji, you are a very good kirtanier, you are a very good preacher, you are a very good book distributor. When so many devotees praise us, sometimes, even though we know the philosophy, we know that Krishna is a doer, we are just an instrument. It is by the mercy of the spiritual master we are able to do the services. But when we get too many praises, sometimes what happens? We we also feel that I am something, okay, and I am the doer. So imagine here the demigods, they are worshipped by so many people during Durga Ashtami. So many followers come. They are so much praises, so much what do you call elaborate worship. So Durga ji also sometimes feels, okay, it is because of me this entire material creation is working. Similarly, Brahmaji, if you see, he was also bewildered. Brahma Vimohana Lila, whether this person in Vrindavan who is eating jhuta from Madhumangal, and Yashoda Mai is beating because he's stealing butter. The gopis are teasing him. Is this the Supreme Lord? I doubt. So even Brahmaji gets bewildered. Why? Because he's given such a top position. So being in the top position for some time and doing so many work, sometimes he also feels bewildered. So that's the reason the demigods say, Lord, enough of this material universe work. Uh, Please give me a birth in a Vaishnava family, so that even I can do pure bhakti and come back to you. So this is the prayer of even the demigods. Even so, they also understand that just having some position, running the material universe, is of no use if they are not able to do their bhakti for Krishna. Uh, and that's the reason we should understand that our only goal should be to please Krishna and go back to Krishna. It is said, no, Akasha Patitam Toyam Yata Gacchati Sagarat Sarvadeva Namaskara Keshava Prati Gacchati. So like the way when the rain falls, it falls on mountains, everywhere it falls, but in the end, all the water is collected by either rivers or ocean. So similarly, no matter who you pray to, which demigod you pray to, finally all the demigods, they offer our prayers to Lord Sri Krishna. Keshava Prati Gacchati. In the end, it goes to Krishna only, because in the end, it's a Krishna who is the one who is sanctioning. Mayeva Vihitanitan. So whoever we worship. So here again, Lord Prabhupada in the purport gives a wonderful example that people who are still not ready for Krishna consciousness, people who are having a demonic mentality, for them also these demigods are it's a duty, like demigods are one who make sure that this such kind of people, so they do not disturb the kingdom of God. If you see the purport, so so they do not disturb the kingdom of God, and wrong people do not come to the what you call, or not come to the spiritual world. These demigods, they keep them here in the material world. If you see some photos of Durga Mataji, she has a trident, and below her there are all the demons, and she's poking the trident to them. So this, so they are given the thankless task. It's not that they enjoy doing all this, but they are given this thankless task because as per our karma, they have to either award us or punish us. And Prabhupada talks even about Yamraj, Yamraj and his servants, Yamduta. They are also given this thankless task of taking jivas to even lower planets like Narakaloka. It is not that they like to punish or what you call, award them such very hellish planets. But what happens because of jiva's karmas, the kind of activities, sinful activities jiva does, they have no other option but to award them such punishments. but but because they are devotees, what happens when they such punishments are awarded, slowly when they suffer in the hellish planets, the jivas, they come to realize that again they should not commit such sins, by which again they go to the narak loka. And after they finish their what you call suffering, all their karmas are vanquished. And when they get a next life, if they are intelligent, they should take to Krishna consciousness. So for us also it is very important, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, before coming to Krishna consciousness, whatever sins you have committed, no doubt it was out of ignorance, so I forgive you. But after coming to Krishna consciousness, again if you commit sins, then that is more severe, the punishment will be more severe. So we should be now careful, very careful, because before coming to Krishna consciousness, we did not know, and out of ignorance, we had so many desires, we had so many anarthas, and we committed a lot of activities which is totally unfavorable. But now it is totally zero tolerance, because now we know by Prabhupada's mercy, we know who we are, what is good, what is bad, what is favorable, what is unfavorable, what Krishna likes. And now that we know that our life is only meant to meant to be lived in a way that is giving pleasure to Krishna and his devotees, so we should not do any of such offenses, because otherwise again then we will come in the karma cycle, and there are different demigods who will, according to our karma, will award us or punish us. And mainly what we should think is like, uh, uh, this Krishna conscious movement is only meant for giving pleasure to Krishna. So we have no other desire. We don't even have the desire of going anywhere other than where Krishna wants to take us. Sometimes a devotee might feel, I'm practicing Krishna consciousness so that I get out of this material world and go back to the spiritual world, and I'll be free from all the miseries, which is good, no harm. But advanced devotee, he doesn't even ask for that desire. He only says, wherever you want me to put Krishna, like Bhakti Vinod Thakur, what he says, Maro bhi rako bhi jo ichha tohar nitya dasa prati tuva adhikar. If you want to keep me here, keep me here. If you want to, like, if you want to punish me, you punish me. If you want to award me, or you do whatever you want, you have full right towards your eternal servant. So this should be our mood. And this mood actually is missing, but as a demigod, this mood sometimes is missing in them, because since they are interested with lot of powers, sometimes they feel they are the doer. That's the reason, even if you become a demigod, it is of no use, because Brahmaji, if you must have known, everybody can become a Brahma. If you have so much of piety, if you accumulate the required piety, you can even become Brahma of a universe. So it is a post. Brahmaji is a post. So if you accumulate enough piety, you can even become Brahma. But then again, coming back to the same point, Brahmaji also becomes bewildered. And like here now, if you continue in the coming shlokas, they will now offer prayers to the Lord, because they are given so much of work of this material universe that they feel they are incompetent to do it. So they are praying. They will be praying to the Lord to bless them, to empower them. And this always happens, like whenever the demigods are in trouble, because a lot of rakshasas and all, they trouble them. So you see, it is not only we who are here having problems of other living entities troubling us. Even the demigods, they have problems, and sometimes the problem is so much that they cannot handle themselves, and they have to go to the Lord. And that is what, if you know, the Purush Sukta prayers, the topmost prayers, the Purush Sukta prayers, and the entire Brahmaji, if you see, like before the advent of Lord Sri Krishna, what had happened? Lord Brahma, along with all the demigods, he goes to the Shir Sagar, where Lord Mahavishnu is lying on the casual ocean, the ocean of milk. So there, Brahmaji always goes whenever he wants to invite Lord to please come help us from all these demons, like big demons like Hiranyakashipu, Kumbhakarna, Ravana. They are so powerful that even demigods cannot do anything. They require the help of the Lord. So when such demons come and trouble them, at that time, Brahmaji along with the demigods, they go to the milk ocean, and there they recite this prayer called the Purush Sukta. And what is that prayer? It is just like begging to the Lord that Lord, now there are certain elements, certain demons who are out of our control. We cannot do anything. So please you come and please deliver us by killing such demons. And then Lord Vishnu, after the prayers, listening to the prayers, he assures Brahma, yes, I'm satisfied. You can go back. I'll do something. I'll come and I'll help you all. So this is the position of the demigods. So they are also always dependent on Lord Sri Krishna. So there are times when they also cannot handle so many certain situations, certain demons, where they also have to take help of Krishna. In fact, it is only Krishna who does everything. We are all just a instrument, and demigods are also not aloof of this. They also come in the same category. Only thing between a normal human and demigods, they are more superior. And since they are superior, it is our duty to always offer them obeisances, always offer them respect. But our main intention when we go to a demigod, our only prayer should be, oh, whoever the deity may be, that please help us to get out of the this Maya consciousness, and please help us always to be in Krishna consciousness. And when a demigod sees that the devotee is very sincere, and he's sincerely praying, he's not just pretending, but he sincerely wants to be Krishna consciousness, that time the demigods, out of total being satisfied by the devotee's sincere prayers, that demigod can help us to become Krishna consciousness. No doubt our Vaishnavas, our spiritual master, they are also the very powerful. They also help us to be Krishna consciousness. But along with them, even demigods, if we sincerely pray to them, they will also help us. And it is many times a lot of Vaishnava acharyas have said that a Vaishnava is so powerful that is even more powerful than a demigod. Why? Because he is totally unalloyed, because his devotion is totally unalloyed, and he never even for a moment thinks that he is a doer, or he is more powerful, or he can Anytime he feels that he is greater than Krishna, Vaishnava. But that is not the case with demigods. Demigods, there are times when when they got gets a very elaborate worship. There are times when they feel that okay, I am also something. I am also like a powerful entity. I am a powerful person who is controlling this material universe. Such kind of feelings do come in demigods, but never it comes in a Vaishnava. That's the reason a Vaishnava is more powerful than a demigod. So that's the reason our entire shelter we take of Srila Prabhupada, all our acharyas, and today, like Prabhuji mentioned, Madhvacharya, who we are called as Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So Madhvacharya comes in the lineage in our acharya, in our parampara. So it is such a great day today. It is a for us disappearance and appearance of a acharya is the same. We feel separation from them, but it is the same. It is a very important day for us, since we are talking about demigod and Vaishnava, and it's such a wonderful day. And tomorrow is Ramanuja Acharya. So last few days have been such powerful days. Starting with yesterday was Bhishma another powerful Vaishnava, such a pure devotee of the Lord, Bhishma. Today is Madhvacharya disappearance day. Tomorrow is Ramanuja Acharya disappearance day. And then the most merciful Lord, Nityanand Prabhu is coming. Nityanand Prabhu is so merciful that he is ready to deliver even the most fallen of the fallen. So you can see such a wonderful week we are having. And in such a week, let us pray to all the Vaishnava Acharyas. Let us take their shelter. And at the same time, demigods, let us understand they are very dear to Krishna, because of which Krishna has given them given them the entrusted them with very important work of running the material universe. Because you see, if you want to give like a head of the company, if you are running a company, so if you want your company to run well, you will give important work or department to people you trust. You will not simply pick somebody from the street and say you handle accounts, okay, you handle quality department, you handle maintenance. No, you will choose people, you will see their qualification, you will make sure that they can handle it properly so that the company will grow well. So similarly, Krishna, if he has created this material world and is entrusted all these affairs to such designated Brahma ji, Shiv ji, Durga ji, there's so many, Ganesh ji, all of them he has entrusted. That means they are very close to Krishna, they are very dear to Krishna. So there is, so it is our duty to see them as Vaishnavas and always respect our obeisances to them. And our only prayers to them is to help us to be Krishna consciousness, no other desires. At least we who are trying to be Vaishnavas, we should have no desires. Materialistic, we cannot help until they come to the point of Krishna consciousness. Their desires will always to be Putram Dehi, Dhanam Dehi, Yasha Dehi. They will keep asking for material benefits. But since we know by mercy of Prabhupada and our spiritual master and Acharya that anything you gain here in material world, good, bad, it is bad. It will not help us in our ultimate goal of life, that is to attain love of Krishna. So at least we and there is no way a Vaishnava will disrespect a demigod, because there is no way we even disrespect a smallest creature, that is ant. So this is the position of the demigod, and Prabhupada beautifully writes in the purport, and we should take advantage. So whoever can award is Krishna consciousness, we should always surrender to them. So our spiritual master is one of them. All the Vaishnavas, all the senior Vaishnavas, they are, and demigods also, uh, uh, since they are very dear to Krishna and they are very confidential servant of Krishna, we should offer our respect to them and always ask to them for our Krishna conscious progress and love of Krishna Bhakti and Krishna Prem. Hare Krishna. So I stop here. Thank you so much for patient listening. So any question, or if anybody wants to add some comments which I missed, please, which I sure definitely must have missed, you can please add. And thank you so much for to all of you. Hare Krishna. Dhanvat Nam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for a wonderful class. Prabhuji, we have a small 5-minute PPT for Madhvacharya ji. So I'll just share it if you permit.
Yes, 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 Prabhu. Please, please. So wonderful of you. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So luckily it was already made, like last year we did. So Madhvacharya was a Pavan Putra, just like Hanumanji and Bhishmadev. And so it's about today's his disappearance day. So there are four uh, sampradayas in in Vaishnava sect. So there is Lakshmi Sampradaya, and which is Sri Sampradaya. Then there is Brahma Sampradaya. Then Shivaji, it's Rudra Sampradaya, and then is Nimbarkachar Kumar Sampradaya. Then so Madhvacharya comes from the Brahma Sampradaya, and tomorrow is Ramanujacharyaji's disappearance day. So it's he's from Sri Sampradaya. So about him, I'll just read out. So Madhvacharya was son of Madhyageha Bhatt and Vedavati in village Beli, which is 8 miles from Udupi. So he was named Vasudeva by parents. So he showed extraordinary intellect from childhood, and he was given a Brahminical initiation at the age of 5. And whatever he read, even once he could remember it. And he took sannyasa at the age of 12, and he was named Purna Pragya. So after sannyasa, he defeated many scholars in debate. So those times, India, the debates were quite common in India. So his ideal philosophy was Shuddha Dvaita, pure dualism. He proved logically that God is always a person and is always a distinct from his creation. So he smashed the philosophy of monism, which says all is one. So Madhvacharya teaching is also called Tattvavada. Tattva means truth and Vada means philosophy. So once he went to Badrinath and he met Vyasdeva there, and he understood the essence of all the Vedic wisdom from him. And with this wisdom, Madhvacharya wrote 39 books and clarifying the tenets of Vaishnavism and showing Vaishnavism to be the true Vedic religion. And he also attacked the monistic creed. So he was clearing all that. And as a child, he was whenever his mother will call him, he being Pavan Putra, he would take a giant leap and he will jump, and immediately he will be present in front of his mother. And there was a Maniman demon which lived near his house. So he just killed him by one kick from his big toe of his left foot. And in school, he showed some miracles. In school, he cured a friend's headache by blowing into his ear to help his father out of debt. He could turn the tamarind seed, the imli seed, into money. And Madhva showed overwhelming physical and spiritual strength both. So once a band of thugs attacked him and he could kill them all. Once a tiger attacked Madhva's companion Satyatirtha, but Madhva pulled the fierce animal off with his bare hands. Quite strength. And on 2 occasions, he made a seed sprout into the plant by singing. Just by his singing, the seed sprouted. So there is an enormous rock in Ambutirtha which requires at least 50 men to move it. So it bears an inscription stating that Madhvacharya placed it there with one hand. In many ways, Madhvacharya set the stage for Krishna conscious movement because he stressed the chanting of holy name of Krishna. And commenting on the Mundak Upanishad, he writes that in the present age, one can satisfy and worship Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, simply by chanting his holy names. So after Madhvacharya, 2 centuries later, Lord Chaitanya came in the same spiritual disciplic succession. And A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, His Divine Grace, he also came in that disciplic succession only, and he founded the ISKCON. So if you can see this disciplic succession, like till Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj we know. So Baldev Vidyabhushan was also his contemporary. Then their guru was Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, then Narottam Das Thakur. And if you go on to Lord Chaitanya, then Ishwar Puri, then there is Madhavendra Puri. So at the top, you see after Vyas, there is Madhva. So this is 2 centuries before Lord Chaitanya. Hare Krishna. So sorry for taking time. So if any devotee has any question, you can ask Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Okay, श्रीमद्वाचार्य जी की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। हरे कृष्णा। ओके, तो किसी भक्त का कोई प्रश्न तो आप पूछ सकते हैं। प्रभु जी स्टिल देयर। हरे कृष्णा, और एल्स वी विल कंक्लूड द सेशन। हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा। ठीक है प्रभु जी, विल कंक्लूड द सेशन। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर द वंडरफुल क्लास प्रभु जी।
Yeah. Thank you to all the Vaishnavas, Prabhu. Thank you so much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Dandavat pranam to all the Vaishnavas.
दंडवत
Thank you for
प्रणाम।
the support. Dandavat pranam.
हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा। So we'll offer Vaishnava pranam and conclude the session. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कुंज बिहारी भगवान की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा। ऑल ग्लोरी